Hi Matt, your model look fantastic. Alright, so let's get started on UVs and unwrapping. So let's start off with this one. What you want to do is you want to cut seams into your model or your mesh. Alright, so the best way to do it is you want to hide as many of the seams as possible. Let's grab this. So what I do is I go into face select mode, grab the facing down cube in this face in this instance. So that's the face that will be less likely to be seen. Then I press Control E and mark seam, and I think Control E, which is edges. So if you go to into edges, mark seam. All right, be careful because there's mark sharp as well. We want to mark seam. All right, so if we go into X-ray mode like here, you'll see that it's made a red line. So that will be a seam. It will separate this face from the rest of the model or mesh. So let's go into edge, and then let's select those edges, and you want that seam to coincide with that one. And let's do the, oops, not that one, this one, nope. So we want that and that seam. Then press Control E, mark seam. A quick way to do this is to view it from top. Then select those edges. So you'll see, oh, it didn't select all of the edges. And then Control E, mark seam. Let's go here. Control E, mark seam. Alright, now we need to open a new window, or you could go to UV editing, but I'm lazy, or I'm set in my ways anyways. So whichever works best for you, you can go into UV editing, but I find making my own windows is much easier. Now if you select that and you press let's make sure we are in UV. If you press A, in most instances it would have an unwrapped version of the mesh, but sometimes it doesn't. So just make sure you select all of the vertices, then go to UV and unwrap. Alright, oh, I see. Alright, another thing, before you unwrap you need to apply the scale again. So let's do that. Apply scale and rotation, tap and unwrap. Right, so now we've got this. It has skewed a bit because there's a bit of stretching there, so it tries to find a way so that it's not stretched. So what we might need to do is we might need to come in here and cut a seam there and a seam there. Let's see what happens now. So in most cases cutting just that seam should be sufficient. Alright, much better. Right, so but it's still not perfect. So let's do this rather. So let's separate this. So because we want to make this as straight as possible, not skew. Alright, so let's cut a seam in there, mark seam, Control A and press unwrap, and that's better. It's still a bit skew here, but it's alright. Right, so now, so that's how you attempt all of them, or do all of them. I'm going to quickly do the others. Alright, I see you didn't, this one doesn't look applied, so that's why the bevel is strange. So I'm just going to quickly do this, redo this one. Alright. Alright, remember to apply the scale and rotation. Now you'll see that I haven't got one there, but I'll show you how to do that now. Alright, in a moment. So let's quickly delete that one tab. Alright, you see there it's unwrapped. So remember to apply the scale and rotation. And once you've done that, you can do the beveling. So Control B and cut in the bevels. Alright, so let's do that. Right. Okay, nearly there. And let's cut it here as well. I could have done that. Anyways, Control E, mark seam R. Unwrap. Alright, so we've got the textures going there as well. Let's quickly go out. Right. Control E, mark seam, right, front face. Right, and then edge select mode, Control E, mark seam. Control E, mark seam. Alright. So this one I'm going to leave like that because I want the flow of the edges to, or the faces to go here. You'll see now why I want that. Alright. Okay. Right, for this one I'm going to pick the back, so Control E, mark seam, face the front, and then edge select mode. For this one you can select the edges, hold Alt in and select that, Control E to mark seam, keep Alt in to select the loop, basically going around like that, Control E, mark seam, and then all and U to unwrap. Alright, I need to apply that, Control A. So remember to apply a scale and rotation. That's it. So, right, we'll get to that. Okay, again, remember to apply your scale and rotation before adding before editing the bevels. Okay, anyways, so just want to quickly recreate this. Shift is cursor to selected, Shift is selection to cursor, tab G1 up on the Z, tab scale on Y, scale on Z, scale on Z, okay. Scale on X, scale on X, scale on X, make it fit, scale on Y. Right, remember to apply scale and rotation. Control B, and there we go. Right, so bottom face, Control E, mark seam. Then edge loops, Control E, mark seam. Control E. Oh, you know what? I want the flow to go over like this. Okay, so let's Control E, clear seam, but now you've cleared the bottom one as well. So you want to go back to the bottom one, Control E, mark seam. So now instead of taking the loop this way, you want to take the loop this way. Control E, mark seam. So what I do to select a loop, Alt and click, Alt and click, Alt and click. Okay, so unwrap, there we go. Alright, so we've done this. Oh, let's unwrap that one as well. Apply, unwrap. That one's unwrapped, unwrap, unwrapped. Okay. I'm gonna delete the mirror versions of this. Delete, delete. Right. Right. The same for the handle. If we want to apply a texture to that, mostly we will just use a material for handles like this. But if we wanted to do wood, for instance, we would need it to be unwrapped. So just edge select there, and let's see, did you put a face in there? So let's see, X faces. Yeah, you can delete the faces on this, on stuff that goes into cupboards, for instance. You can delete the face. You don't need a face there. All right, Control E, mark seam, unwrap, and there we have it. A bit skew. Alright, we'll sort that out later, but this is more or less what we want. Alright, so, but for this, for the handle, it's not really necessary to have it. Come on. Sorry. Something. Okay. Let's continue. Right, so now we've got half of it, and everything has been unwrapped correctly, applied. Right, so let's do this. We want to apply material to this. So we say wood, for instance, wood, and we want another one which is granite. Right, so, and then we need to import those textures. So let's go into texture. Let's add a texture. Alright, so Control T. So what I do is I go to my textures folder on my computer, go down to wood, textures, and then I'm just going to grab something very simple. Let's grab, let's do that one for now. Okay. Right. All right. So when you've got two materials in your material slot, usually the first one you create will be applied to your model. But I've done something wrong here. I've added the wood texture to the granite, and I actually want the wood texture to be placed in my wood. So I'm just going to copy that, delete it, go to wood, and control V here to paste it. And if I pull that into the base color, it should be wood texture. That's it. But you can change it. You can, for instance, do this. Go to granite and select all your vertices and say assign. So now it's assigned to all those are assigned to the granite texture. So if we import a granite texture now, Control T, let's delete that. Right, so let's do this textures, go down to granite. Let's do that one, for instance. Alright, so now it's applied there. Alright, so Alright, I just want to quickly show you why I did it that way around. So if we go back to wood, assign it to wood, you'll see that the grain of it goes in that direction. So the grain follows that length of the UV that we've placed here. Let's do this. So this is that mesh. The UV for that mesh is this. So if we do this and we select it and rotate it 90 degrees, the grain goes in that direction. So you'll see the way the face lies on the texture determines the direction of the material on the mesh itself. So let's go back to granite, assign. All right. Oh, you see. All right. So now we've got that. That's an accident, but you can do that as well. You can apply different materials to different parts of a mesh in a scene. So let's select all, assign to granite, and you'll see that the granite is a little bit too big, the material. So let's go in here. You'll see that in this mapping material, there's a scaling section. So you select those and make it 10, and then it should look nice, but I think it's a little bit too small, so let's make it 5. And you can see that this is not a seamless texture. We need to use a seamless texture. So let's see if we can find one here. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, much better. All right, so and that's how you do it. So because we have those two materials in Blender now, you don't need to create a new wood material for every part of your model. All you need to do is delete all the materials that you don't want, go to wood and assign it. And you'll see that because I've made the UVs go in this direction, so it's basically, let's do that. Tree. Oh, alright, so what's wrong here now? Okay. If I turn it, you'll see that it changes the direction of the material. Alright, so let's do this for the rest. Okay. There we go. So if you need to change the direction of the wood, tap into edit mode, select all of the UVs. Why is it not selecting? Then rotate it 90 degrees. Now you'll see I will want that material or texture to go in that direction instead of going like this. So let's select those faces. L and L, and then right, I'm trying to find out why everything is selected here. Okay, or 90 degrees, right. The same for this, so that's okay. It can go in that direction, it should be fine. Alright. You'll see that the scale of the texture is a little bit off on that one. So to correct that, to make it fit the rest, you need to scale the UVs itself. So let's go scale, scale. You can do the same for this one. And the same for this one. This one more or less look about right. So we just want to make sure that the textures look almost the same. Right, so once you've done that, you can still play around with the wood texture. So we can change the scale. So it will scale for everything now. So if I scale it up to 2, it will scale correctly for everything, except this one looks a little bit off. Anyway, so That's strange. Scale. Oh, there we go. Right, and that's more or less UV unwrapping and texturing. As you'll see that the bottoms are not right, so let's quickly do that. Not that it's important, but you can also do that. And that should do the trick. Let me know if I didn't explain anything correctly. Alright, so the other thing what we want to do is we want to mirror this now. So I'm going to select everything, join it together, then let's pick that one, select the select that face. So let's select that face. Shift is cursor to select it, then press W or object context. So set origin to 3D cursor. So this is all just one mesh now. We want the cursor to be in the middle, the origin to be in the middle, and then let's delete this. Let's add a mirror. 3. Right. So then add a mirror modifier and make sure that it's in the Y direction. Right, so and now you can apply that mirror. Near, apply. And that's it. So now you've got one cupboard going there with materials and textures. Like I said, shout if there's anything that's unclear. Thank you, Matt.